the Passport to Financial Literacy initiatives. The state is trying to make certain that our young people have the needed skills to have good financial lives. Within the schools, though, we also know that that burden is creating the need for a type of program that will help the schools, administrators, and teachers meet the regulatory mandate. That's where we come in. We have identified a program that is comprehensive, sound, and free to the schools. And so we're very pleased to be a sponsor of the program, along with our partner, TTCU, out of Tulsa. Christy Brooks is representing Tulsa Teacher Credit.
Good afternoon. I'm Christy Brooks, and I'm with TTCU, the credit union from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and very proud to sponsor the Foolproof Financial Literacy Program. TTCU was founded 77 years ago in the desk drawer of a teacher in Central High School in Tulsa, and we're very proud of that history that we have with educators. When we realized the need for financial literacy and what the state had mandated, we saw the need that we needed to get involved with that as well. From the credit union standpoint of teaching the youth about financial literacy and educating them, as well as helping our target, which is our educators and our students and their families. And so this program, Foolproof Financial Literacy, is a great program. It's free. It's an investment that our credit union and WIOKI has made in the state of Oklahoma on behalf of the students and the educators to be able to offer this program for free in their classrooms. It's a great, fun program. We've had lots of students and their teachers have already gotten involved in the program and have logged on and started teaching it in the school systems. We have one school in northeastern Oklahoma that we already have been notified that they have chosen Foolproof as their financial literacy partner, and that's Union Public Schools, and they'll have 1,100 students, sophomores, that will start this program this year, and they'll bring on their 8th and 9th graders for the future as well. So we're very proud to be a part of this, and it's my pleasure to introduce to you our Oklahoma Lieutenant Governor, Todd Lamb.
It's a pleasure for me to be here. Really, I wanted to come. It's a special announcement, and I'm excited to do that. But to be in the Taj Mahal High Schools in Oklahoma, it's pretty exciting. Took me for an old plainsman from Enid to be allowed on the Miller campus to get my passport stamped. I appreciate that, UConn. And for WIOKI and TTCU to come together in partnership with Foolproof, it's good on so many levels. And for anybody to have a partnership and have enough confidence to buy into a program that is named Foolproof, that's a lot of confidence. I mean, that says anybody can do it. You'll learn, you can teach it, it will be adapted, it will be understood, it will be comprehended, and success will follow. So on a lot of levels, I'm excited to be here. Those of you that heard me speak before, you know it's pretty uncommon for me to use notes. But I want to read some stats here that I think are just extremely important and shed light and illustrate the need for Foolproof and the implementation of Foolproof. I was actually in the legislature for 6 years before I was lieutenant governor. And while I was in the legislature, I can't remember what year, somebody here may know, but I remember when this bill with the 14 standards was discussed to be amended or to be enacted. And I remember being in the committee when it was discussed and brought up on whether it should be done, on whether or not it could be done, and how it could be done. And today illustrates how it could be done with a partnership, free and a good, healthy partnership. These are some stats on the need of why we need to do Foolproof. The number of 18 to 24-year-olds declaring bankruptcy has increased 96% in the last 10 years. I mean, we can just stop right there and I'll just conclude the press conference. I mean, that statistic alone is just alarming. Another statistic, I'm just going to share 4. 45% of college students are in credit card debt. You know, we teach our kids math, geometry. I had friends, I never took it, calculus. Another class I think called trigonometry, I didn't take that either. But we teach kids math, but the application of math and how to balance that checkbook and understanding how to rent a house you can afford, how to buy a home you can afford, how to get a car payment that you can afford within your means, was not taught when I was in school. Over 60% of students say they never had a meaningful conversation about personal finances with their parents. Over 6%. And then the last one, up to 10% of college students, I mean, this is just sad and tragic. Up to 10% of college students drop out of school because of credit card problems. And one advisor was quoted saying, it's not an academic problem or an intelligence problem, it's a credit card problem. And kids just kind of give up, pack up, and go home. I mentioned the 14 educational standards adopted by the legislature for our state. Foolproof is going to address, and will address, and has addressed, in 96 schools around our state. I think recently, maybe recently Yukon, before that Union Public Schools. I want to say thank you to TTCU and Wioki and to Foolproof. And I think I said hi to everybody when I walked in. Thank you so much for standing the gap and educating our children and giving them a real life application of numbers, addition and subtraction, and what red ink means and what black ink means, and how the desires always stay within black ink and not get down into red ink. I'm an honor to be here. On behalf of the state of Oklahoma, I just say thank you to Foolproof. Thank you.
All right, just a quick background from the Foolproof perspective. Thank you all for coming today. A little bit about Foolproof and why we're doing what we're doing. We're consumer advocates, and we, traveling across the country, meet young people that are in trouble when it comes to their finances. And we address these young people with like a curriculum that is labor saving for the teacher, free for the teacher, fun for the kids. But above all, it teaches kids the critical thinking skills and like the ways to safely navigate the free enterprise system in the way they should, and they can be smart with the money, and they can be wise consumers. Because of being consumer advocates, we don't sell anything in this program. We don't say, hey, Wioki and TTCU, bring this to you, go get your credit card there. It's true consumer advocacy, real information that young people need to be successful and wise consumers. Because of that reason, we've been endorsed by the Consumer Federation of America and the National Association of Consumer Advocates, two large consumer groups around the country that generally don't endorse any type of program, any group or whatsoever. So what's in it for the students, and what's in it for the teachers? Two of the main focuses of our actual initiative. First, for the students, this program is like fun and interesting. Like we found that like a lot of programs out there are boring, and like this stuff is not interesting for young people to work through. Credit, balancing checkbooks, blah, it's not fun and interesting. So what we try to do is like have peer-to-peer teaching, young people that do the teaching to young people. What problems do you face when you grow up? What problems do you run into when you're a young person? And try to make it fun and interesting. Everything's online, interactive. Use a lot of videos, game breaks, a lot of animated clips, just to get like the young people to interact with the program and get this boring information across to the young people and show them how important this is for their life. Additionally, for the teachers, what is in it for the teachers? Well, this program is free. It's labor saving. We've got a lot of teacher tools that help manage these masses of young people that need to actually go through these 14 standards. So we put in a lot of like tools for the teachers to make this easier. Track the student, grade the student. There's a grading component, testing component at the end of every module that teaches one of these standards. The teacher doesn't have to do much work, and it becomes really easy to actually see how the student is doing and how they are learning. Within the Foolproof program, we meet 100%. We meet 100% of the Oklahoma standards. And we're really excited about actually being able to meet all the standards and being able to offer that curriculum to all the students and the teachers in Oklahoma. Thank you all for coming today, and we'd love to see what comes out of all this and see how we can make hopefully a difference in young people's lives. So thank you. If anybody has any questions for myself or for Wioki or TTCU or the Lieutenant Governor, please go ahead and ask any of your questions. And we were around. Thank you for coming. I think I forgot to mention one thing about Foolproof. The fact that we have a transferable transcript in our actual program. A lot of students across the state move around from school to school. With Foolproof, you can track the students' progress, see how they're doing on the standards, see if they have met the standards. If they've moved to a different school, you can actually see, transfer a student from school to school, either by a printout and putting it in that student's record, or electronically transferred from school to school by a school administrator. So that was it. Now I'll stop blabbering. So, thank you, and have a safe trip home.
I know, I had to think about it.